Hey HTDA and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, where we are currently holding off quite well against these three enemy bases non-stop attacking us with oodles of units. However, our defenses, even though they're effective, they're efficient, they don't really look all that well, so I kind of want to upgrade this into a facility that not only does the job well like it does now, but it also looks a little bit better and hopefully is as self-sufficient as we can make it in this stage of the game. And a huge part of doing that is making sure we recharge the auto reconstruction marking so we can actually rebuild the base automatically, and then as long as we supply the battlefield analysis base with the components to actually do so, we don't have to worry about these turrets not being there after a few attacks. Like, as you can see, we currently do have that problem. Another thing I'm going to do is actually build some foundations around this particular spot because we need a little bit more iron, specifically the actual just iron ingots. As you can see, we're using all of the ones we're currently producing in order to make circuit boards, which is important for the research, but yeah, we're going to need some stuff to actually build our bases and other units as well. Okay, so the production facility over here that you can see, very simple, but that will do the trick. Let's grab some of those ingots. I'm also going to need some of these gears over here in order to build my turrets. And 10 turrets is not quite what I was hoping for, so let's build a few more. I did unlock the automated reconstruction, so hopefully I can just park my Icarus there and it will start rebuilding the bases. It's not entirely the automation that we're looking for just yet, but it will get me in the right direction at least. And then after that, I do want to start focusing on anything that is related to signal towers, mostly the red science. We do already have the smelting purification, yes, so we have everything we need in terms of technologies to actually do red science. So that means that we should probably start working on missile turrets. Actually, before we do that, let's grab a couple of cheap updates in terms of extra damage. That's always useful. Let's have some extra defense as well. And drone engines, because they'll actually help with the defense as well. I actually also want my mecha flight. It just helps me move around a little easier. Inventory capacity is always so useful, and movement speed as well. So just to make sure we can get everything done a little bit more efficiently than what we're currently doing. Also going to need some of those, and again I need some more iron. So basically what I'm going to do in the next few minutes, first of all make sure I don't run out of power. Let's grab some of those things that we can use for that. And then I'm going to make sure I don't die and my towers are not all being destroyed. Something else I want to do early on this time around is actually semi-automating some stuff in a mini mall. This is the stuff I generally need a little bit of anyway. We don't need huge amounts of these, so let's just make sure I'm not overproducing something I don't need a few stacks of. But yeah. This will just make our lives a little easier. We can just grab it like this as long as you keep dumping in the resources. Now, I mostly need that iron, but we are producing that in pretty decent amounts now. So I can just grab it from the box over here, assuming I can get close enough. There we go. And then just dump it in here and then it will take care of itself for the most part. Now, this is actually TDA from the future because I already recorded this and actually went ahead with like half an hour of gameplay. And then it turned out every time I expand my facility just a tiny little bit, the enemy waves, if I go for example for the oil over here, they will start attacking me all the way over here. If I expand to either the coal over here or the coal over here, they start fanning out even further around this corner. And that by itself is not necessarily a problem because we can just expand these turret lines. The problem then became that I ran out of ammo. Because you have so many turrets spread across such a huge distance, actually resupplying the ammo to the turrets takes forever. I actually doubled up the production on the ammo as well, but that wasn't even sufficient. The whole problem is that we need a more centralized defense that we can more easily resupply and not spread out across half the planet with 3 waves coming in like every minute or so. So, long story short, we actually have to keep the base smaller, try to produce the red science in order to make the signal towers within this base, and then take it from there. Okay, so in an attempt to kind of centralize my defense a little bit more, I just built what is probably going into the history books as the ugliest defense ever. But basically the idea is that this will hopefully intercept a lot of the things going around over here to the south. So I'm actually kind of inclined to take these turrets out, but I'll leave them in just in case for now. And this is a little bit more blocky defense like we want in the long run. So yeah, as you can see, this wave will actually come straight on the side. So I'm not entirely sure about this battlefield analysis base, honestly. Let's move that to the side over here. But all in all, I think this should work quite nicely and hopefully be a little bit more efficient in terms of resupply as well. Although I do realize that actually adding in more turrets is the opposite of being more efficient in terms of having the amount of numbers that you need to resupply bigger. But yeah, as you can see, the blocky defense does work very efficiently. And apparently it has the added bonus of, for some reason, again, shifting the center of my facility a little bit. I mean, it was obvious that the center changes, but I wasn't expecting this strong of an impact. Because now this wave that usually fans out all the way to the side is actually coming in kind of centralized as well. So, might even work better than I expected. And just to make safe, I actually just doubled up on the ammo production as well, as you can see over here. So that should hopefully help making sure that we don't have too many of these empty turrets over there. Okay, seriously, can someone explain to me why a single wave starting at the exact same time from a planetary base spreads out like this across the planet? I mean, I have no idea how this is supposed to work. I mean, just look at this. The half of the wave is coming from the left side of my base and the other half is coming from the right side of my base. I have a feeling that just being near to the poles is just not necessarily a very efficient place to start building your base or something. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm holding out. I'm still able to defend, rebuild everything every now and then. Or not everything, but whatever we lose in the process. But this is definitely turning out to be a lot harder to defend than it was on my previous playthrough. Not necessarily because of the number of planetary bases sending waves at me, but just the different angles at which they're sending them at me. Now, in order to play it safe, what I'm actually doing here is I just put in the hydrogen that I collected from the dark fog, along with the graphene that I got from the dark fog as well. And I'm just going to put it manually into this production facility until I'm comfortable expanding. We probably need to expand anyway. I don't think there's a good way around that. But I'm going to play this really, really safe. And you know, just to play it safe, we can always farm the graphite, or I should say the coal, manually. I also beefed up the defense line here a little bit with another line of turrets. Now I actually realized, where's this belt going? That's not where you were supposed to go. Let's go down here and then connect down here so we can circle those ammunitions around. Where's this wave going? Sort of under control, a little bit to the side still, but yeah, still not sure what's going on there, but I think we can manage for now. I actually considered bringing in the oil manually as well, but no, my brain can't handle doing all of that manually. So I am going to set up a oil drilling facility all the way over here. Hopefully that won't mess with the angle of the incoming dark fog too much, because this is very exposed over here. But this is the area they have been attacking the least so far, so feeling pretty optimistic about that, maybe for no apparent good reason. But we should be... Why are we not getting oil in here? Hello? Let me guess, the power pole is, yeah, too far away. There we go. Okay, so we should be getting oil in there. That means we have automated at least the hydrogen now, and that means I just need to go collect all the graphene from all of these bases and just put that in the box. And then we should have enough to get the rest of the 300 red signs going. Look at that beautiful piece of technology being completed. We can now build signal towers, so now it's time to finally grab back control of some of my map, so I can actually start building where I want to. Now, thanks to the fact that we just researched this, the crystal silicon is actually showing up on the drop table, so I'm assuming that in the next few waves I'm going to get some of those. Because remember, in order to actually build the signal towers, we need that crystal silicon, and you need to research that technology to make it yourself by spending 500 more red signs. So hopefully we don't have to wait for that too long. And the answer is no, we don't have to wait for that too long, because as you can see, the first crystal silicon started dropping right away after we unlocked the signal towers. Okay, so now we have the battlefield analysis base and the signal tower both available. Let's show you what the plan is. We're going to place these signal towers alongside, not entirely sure, maybe like this, the battlefield analysis base. You can also place them in the horizontal direction depending on what you want to do. The idea is that these guys will soak up most of the damage. Remember, these things have 3000 hit points, which is almost 10 times as much as a turret and 4 times as much as a battlefield analysis base. And because the battlefield analysis bases are so close, they're going to be repairing this while we're getting attacked. Now, while the units are all shooting at these 3 units over here, the turrets are going to be shooting at the enemy and taking them down. So let's see if this works like intended. It should. We should see this go pretty low initially, and that's why we want to have multiples of these as soon as we can build them. But as you can see, it's taking quite a bit of damage, but it's also being repaired pretty quickly. All the turrets are taking some damage, but we haven't actually lost a single turret so far. And as you can see, this wave is now very easy to defend against. So aside from making our defenses a lot more efficient and less costly in terms of repairs, that is actually also going to allow us to start automating things. So straight up, I am going to put down that graphite production unit right away, so we have automated the red signs over here. It's nothing major, but at least now we have everything completely automated. We'll be getting some processors from the dark fog now, so that's really awesome. And well, I'm also going to kind of upgrade my defenses a little bit. As you can see, we're still working on that to make it look a little bit more organized than it is now. And there we go. This is the final version, at least at this technology level, that the defense is going to look like. It looks a lot more organized than the previous version. As you can see, you might be noticing that there's a missile signal tower over here. They actually took it out because I kind of want the units to come in a little bit more from the side. They tend to attack me from this angle still for some reason. Every now and then they come in from here. But by basically taking out this signal tower, I might accidentally lose 1 or 2 turrets over here, but I'd rather lose some turrets, maybe just like 2 or 3 per run at most, actually, because a lot of the runs we don't actually lose anything, then lose a signal tower, which I don't have the materials to build actively just yet. So, just a pragmatic thing that I did here. There's a couple of rows of turrets in behind here just to provide maximum firepower for anything that gets close to the signal towers, and there's actually a single line in front because honestly they seem to be left alone most of the time, and that just adds a little bit of extra firepower. Then there's a lot of these battlefield analysis bases in the back, mostly just to provide some additional support. I'm not entirely sure that they're actually needed. As you can see, we just lost one of the forward turrets there, but other than that we seem to have everything under control. Actually getting in 2 waves now, yeah. So this is kind of the worst case scenario, 2 waves, full waves coming in at the almost exact same time. As you can see, we lost maybe 2 or 3 turrets in the process in the corner over here, but other than that, there's really nothing going wrong and we're easily handling this. So I would say our mission for this episode is completed. Now in the next episode, what I want to do is get rid of the dark fog from my planet, because it's going to get old really fast. But in order to do that, we're going to need some rockets. So make sure you join in for that as well. If you're still here, you're awesome, and I do hope to catch you in the next one.